today. They had a 1:15 start, so we have not heard a score on that, but they played earlier this afternoon. Now the Wildcats getting ready to go. A game originally scheduled for 8 o'clock and then moved up, but we just had an epic JV game that was long to start with because there were a lot of personal fouls called in that game. And then it went into overtime, so the Longview sub-varsities have won both earlier games. The freshman team for the Lobos won 45-32, and the JV team won by the score of 67-64. Last night the Wildcats played in Hallsville, picked up a win there, 51-35, while Longview was winning in Pine Tree. So that sets up this match. Longview 7-9 for the season, 2-2 in district play, but you can kind of throw all that out because recently several new players joined the team from their really good football team that they had in Longview this year and played pretty deep into the season. And so just getting to coach Don Newton. And the Wildcats come in 3-0 in district play and 10-6 for the season. And we'll start with the national anthem here courtside.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Silver Springs High School for tonight's 15-5A matchup between the Longview Lobos and your Silver Springs Wildcats. And now the starting lineups first from our visitors. Number 1, a 6-foot guard, Marco Washington. Number 5, a 5'7" guard, Tyler Hale. Number 35, a 6'5" guard, Riley Ellswick. Number 3, a 6'2" guard, Kybo Jackson Jamerson. And number 4, a 6'4" guard, Jalen Hale. The Lobos are coached by Don Newton, assisted by Vince Brown and Jalen Claymore. And now, make some noise for your Wildcat! A 6'7" sophomore, number 23, Cordray Turner. Starting forward, a 6'7" junior, number 1, Justin Hare. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 5, Ali Cole. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 2, L.J. Johnson. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior,
That was Jacob Sexton doing the PA work there. He's the assistant coach for one of those for Clark Cipolletta. He coaches a freshman group. And enjoyed meeting Coach Don Newton of the Lobos of Longview. He's in his 4th year. And seemed like a very nice, just like so many of the coaches we meet, very nice fellow seems to be. And look forward to seeing how his Lobos play. They are a completely different team with the football guys in there. They're still knocking the rust off, but look for them to show great improvement. Right now, 7-9, 2-2. The Wildcats 10-6 and 3-0 in district. Jumping for Longview is Cabrian Jackson Jamerson, jumping against Justin Hare for the Wildcats. The officials are testing that basketball to make sure it has air in it and it's bouncing right. Don't want a ball that bounces funny. The official steps in, the ball in the air, and the Wildcats stole the tap. And here's Lamadrick Johnson for the Wildcats. Lamadrick, his pass is stolen, and here's a player ahead of the field, and he lays it in. That's Jalen Hale. And I understand he is a 5-star receiver in football, but just a sophomore, so it'll be a few years maybe before he has a decision to make. Probably getting offers already. Wildcats outside the arc, trailing 2-0. Malik Cole, back to Lamadrick Johnson. Johnson over to Boo Wilkerson, down to Justin Hare. He lobs to Cordrick Turner, back to Lamadrick. He drives the baseline to Hare. He lays it up and hit it. About a 2-foot jump shot by Justin Hare. Good assist by Lamadrick Johnson. We're tied at 2. 7:06 left here in the first quarter. Dribbling outside, Jalen Hale, guarded by Malik Cole. He gets it over to Washington. Washington passes to Tyree Hale. Here's a long 3 by Longview, no good. Rebound, Cordrick Turner. Here come the Wildcats. We're tied at 2. 6:43 left, first quarter. Boo Wilkerson, the 3. Good by Boo Wilkerson. And the Wildcats lead 5-2. 6:32 left here in the first quarter. Longview over the midline. Tyree Hale driving in his shot, blocked by Justin Hare. Lamadrick Johnson runs for the Wildcats and sailed a pass out of bounds. I'm not sure who it was intended for. Lamadrick directing traffic, I guess telling the player where he should have gone or something. But a turnover on the Wildcats. They lead 5-2. 6:11 left, first quarter. Ball worked inside. Shot put up and missed. But rebound is off. No good. Longview offensive rebounding. Shot put up. No good. Justin Hare, the rebound. Gets it to Lamadrick Johnson. Johnson across the midline. Longview will steal that ball, and there's a turnover, but Lamadrick Johnson stole it back. It's now on the floor. Gets it to Boo Wilkerson. The 3 is good by Boo Wilkerson. He's hit a pair of threes, and the Wildcats leading 8-2 with 5:34 left here in the first quarter. Jalen Hale with the ball for those Lobos. Long 3. It comes up short. Back to the Wildcats. Wildcats fast start off to an 8-2 lead with 5:25 left first quarter. But I'm telling you right now, Wildcats, be careful with that ball. Longview can steal the ball. We've seen that a lot this afternoon. Lamadrick Johnson around a hair screen. Gets the ball to Cordrick Turner, the 3. It's good by Cordrick Turner. Big fella. Wildcats leading 11-2. 5 minutes left, first quarter. Bombs away for the Wildcats. Washington outside for the Lobos. He passes over to Tyree Hale. Back to Washington. Here's another Lobo 3. This one comes up short. Ball down on the floor. It's loose. Goes out of bounds and will be back with Longview. And throwing it in will be DeMarcus Washington. Boo Wilkerson guarding the inbound throw. And Washington just now gets it into Jalen Hale. Hale, just a sophomore. Looks like a very poised player. Dribbling that ball outside. Drives into the lane, puts up the shot, and it bounces home. Jalen Hale has all 4 points for Longview. Wildcats leading 11-4 on the strength of 3 3-pointers. Lamodrick Johnson outside. Whistle blows. And there's going to be a foul down in the lane on Longview. I'm not sure who that was on. Pass Boo Wilkerson to toss in. Gets it down to Justin Hare, and as Hare hit the short shot, he got position. That was the key. Wildcats leading 13-4. 4:03 left first quarter. Tyree Hale. Here's a long three by Longview. It's off, no good. Cordrick Turner, the good rebound to Lamodrick Johnson. Here come the Wildcats. They'll run. Lamodrick Euro step. Puts it up, missed the shot, but he hit the deck and got fouled. Foul's going to be on DeMarcus Washington. And we'll send Lamodrick to the free throw line. These are the first free throws of the game. Longview has picked up 2 quick fouls here in the first quarter. Johnson's free throw off the front iron, no good. Johnson will get another, or LJ, as they like to call him. Malik Cole checks out. Caleb Alexander in for the Wildcats. Second free throw, Lamodrick is off, no good, and knocked out of bounds by Longview. It'll go back to the Wildcats. Wildcats 13, Longview 4, 3:47 left here in the first quarter. Boo Wilkerson to trigger in for the Wildcats. Trying to find some help. Gets it in. Caleb Alexander shoots. No good. Hare got tied up with Cade Lieben. Make that Riley Ellswick. Possession arrow to the Lobos. And here comes Longview. They trail 13-4. 3:42 left in the first quarter. Here's Jalen Hale. He's been the offense for the Lobos so far. Right side it goes Washington. Back to Jalen Hale. Hale penetrates in. Tries toward the bucket. Spins it up. Missed. Good strong rebound. Cordrick Turner. Out to Lamodrick Johnson. Johnson down the court for the Wildcats. Steams to the basket. Lays it up. Missed it. Longview got the rebound. Washington, and he will run. He bounces over to Ellswick, who laid it in the bucket. And it's a 13-6 ball game. 3:08 left in the first quarter. First basket for Riley Ellswick, a 6'4" senior. Ball to Cordrick Turner. Turner over to Alexander, down to Hare. Hare into the lane. The short jumper is good by Justin Hare. 6 points for Hare. Timeout taken by Longview coach Don Newton. 2:50 to play in the first quarter. The Wildcats lead Longview 15-6. And we'll take the break with them, and we'll be back in a moment.
We're out, Don. Could you turn your steps up a little bit? You're a little bit low.
Make it so, number one.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
And a little bit of time left here as the teams are in the huddles. As we played the first few minutes of the ball game here, the Wildcats are really hot on offense. Justin Hare with doing a lot of damage around the basket. Boo Wilkerson with a pair of threes, and Cordrick Turner hitting the three. That all totals up 15 points, and the Wildcats ahead of the Lobos 15-6. The Lobos have 2 baskets by Jalen Hale and 1 by Riley Ellswick on a nice-looking Lobos fast break a while ago. And here comes Longview in their green uniforms, trailing 15-6, 2:46 left in the first quarter. Jalen Hale lobs it inside to Jackson Jamerson. He drives into the lane, puts the shot up over Cordrick Turner, and managed to put it home. To Brian Jackson Jamerson. Makes it a 15-8 ball game. 2:27 left here in the first quarter. Hare, top of the key. Right side it goes to LaModrick Johnson. To Caleb Alexander, top of the key. Down low toward Hare, and the ball is stolen. And here's a fast break for Longview. And they throw it away as Boo Wilkerson intercepts, and they're all over Boo, and Jalen Hale will pick up a foul in the backcourt trying to steal that ball back. Wildcats ball leading 15-8, 2:04 left in the first quarter. LJ with the ball out front. Left side it goes, Caleb Alexander. Gets it down low to Justin Hare. Boy, close guarding on Hare. Hare bumps his way in, and he's going to be fouled by the Brian Jackson Jamerson. Guarding very close, and there was a lot of bumping going on, and so Justin Hare have his first opportunities from the free throw line. First one's on the way. Good. Rattle, but went home. Hare has 7 points. Cordrick Turner out, and in comes Kason Arrington. And Ellswick is out. And in now for Longview is a number 0, which we do not have on the roster. I apologize. I thought we had all that squared away. Free throw was good by Hare. Made both. 17-8, 1:50 left here in the first quarter. Maybe during the break I'll see if I can get a Longview fan to shed some light on who 0 might be. Ball is over to DeMarcus Washington. Sails it back over to Tyree Hale. Here's Jalen Hale, lays it in the lane. He's got 6 points. Impressive looking sophomore. I think he had a big night last night against Pine Tree. Also, 17-10, Wildcats leading, 1:21 left here in the first quarter. LaModrick Johnson. Johnson heading into the lane, over to Wilkerson for the 3. It's off the iron, no good. Rebound by 0, whoever that may be. And here comes Longview to Jalen Hale. Into the corner it goes. Back to Jalen Hale, inside. And here's Jackson Jimerson, and he rattles it home. Well, it was a swish. Let's not say rattle. That was all basket. Timeout taken by Clark Cipolletta and the Wildcats. It's the Wildcats 17 and Longview 12 with 51.3 seconds left here in the first quarter. We'll take the break, and we'll be back in a moment.
How much you want?
1.
Okay.
Hey, Craig, see if you could ask somebody from Longview who 0 is. I don't have him on the roster.
Five seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, Superfan is Tavian. Well, we're going to have to, I didn't understand what he was telling me, so we're going to have to get that squared away. The Wildcats bring the ball down, and now they turn the ball over. Here comes Longview down the court. Jalen Hale lays it up and in. He's got 8 points. And it's a 17-14 game. Wildcats leading Longview, but they're getting sloppy with the ball. Caleb Alexander over to down low to Hare, and he puts it in. A good assist by Kason Arrington. And Hare, big first quarter with 10 points. Here's Longview. Hale, a long 3. It's off, no good. Rebound Arrington. Passes over to Malik Cole, and that's the end of the first quarter. And the Wildcats will take a 19-14 lead into the first quarter. So we'll take the break here, and we'll come back with the start of the second quarter right after this break.
You're out of mine, 2 spots.
What was the name? Martivian?
Martivian. Really with a Q.
Okay.
Haynes.
James?
Haynes.
Taines.
Haynes.
How do you spell it?
It's either H-A-I-N
Oh, Haynes. I've got him on here somewhere. Where is Haynes? Oh, I had him as number 12. Okay, I've got him. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, we figured out the mystery. We found our player. I have to see what number I had for him. But anyway, we've got it figured out who we were missing there. And it is Markevian Haynes is number 0. Thanks to the Longview fan not too far from us here and super fan for getting that information, Craig getting that information for me. Here come the Wildcats. They'll own the ball as we start the second quarter. They lead 19-14. Ball down to Hare and a foul down on the floor guarding Justin Hare. And it's 0, so a foul recorded now for Markevian Haynes. Non-shooting foul, and Wilkerson now looking for some help. Down to Corderick Turner. He missed the shot, but foul down on the floor on Longview. And it's on 0 again. My goodness, Haynes with 2 quick fouls. Also now in for Longview is DeTravius Nelson. Wilkerson to trigger in. Bounces it in to Caleb Alexander. He's guarded closely by Nelson. Ball comes out to Justin Hare. Gets it over to Malik Cole. Glad to see Malik back in there after breaking a finger. And Cole drives in, and his shot was blocked, and he crashes to the floor. The Wildcats helping him up, and appears to be all right. Hope he didn't pull something there. He heads to the free throw line after, boy, really taking a crash to the floor. And Malik Cole with foul shots here. He'll shoot a pair. First one's on the way, in and out of there, no good. The Wildcats have not shot free. Well, they've had 2 out of 5. Early results in Longview violated the lane, missed a shot, but going to be a lane violation as they moved in there too quickly, trying to anticipate the shot. So Cole will get another chance here. I guess they're subbing for the shooter, so they'll have to wait until Malik shoots his foul shot. Their free throw on the way. He missed 3 of them. Longview with the rebound. And bringing the ball up court is now Tyree Hale. Left side it goes to DeTravius Nelson. And Hale to Hale as it goes over to Jalen Hale. Here's Nelson with a long shot. It swishes home a 3 for DeTravius Nelson. Longview down by 2 as they've been chipping away since the Wildcats hit them with some haymakers out of the gate. Wildcats by 2, 19-17, just under 7 to play here in the second quarter. Down low to Corderick Turner into Justin Hare, and he hit the shot. Hare's on fire. He's got 12 points. The Wildcats leading 21-17, 6:44 left in the second quarter. This is Tyree Hale. Gets it over to Nelson. Back to Tyree Hale. Goes around to Hale's screen and shoots the ball and hit the 3. My goodness. Hale with a 3. Wildcats leading 21-20. 6:22 left in the second quarter. Longview beginning to warm up. Caleb Alexander, right side, down low to Justin Hare. Big height advantage. His jumper swish. Hare cannot miss. 14 points. The Wildcats leading 23-20. 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Here's Nelson with another long 3. That's off. No good. The rebound to Malik Cole. He runs down the court. Malik bounce pass to Drew Wilkerson. Gets it over to Caleb Alexander. And the whistle blows, and they're going to give him 2 shots. He never put up a shot. The foul is on Longview. They have 8 fouls. The Wildcats do not have any. That is an unbelievable stat. But they are playing defense very aggressively, and these officials calling the game tight. Back to the foul line, Caleb Alexander. Unusual. I never saw him take a shot before shooting 2 like he did. Free throw in the way, good by Alexander, his first point in the ball game. 4-point lead for the Wildcats as LJ checks back in for Malik Cole. Caleb Alexander, a junior for the Wildcats. This one on the way. Got them both. He's got 2. The Wildcats leading 25-20. 5:45 left here in the second quarter. Across the midline, Tyree Hale over to Jalen Hale. They're both playing catch outside the arc. Tyree Hale drives in, now drives out, goes around the screen, and now penetrates in. The ball is knocked loose and knocked out of bounds by Caleb Alexander. It'll go back to Longview. And throwing in another new player that we've not seen, Willie Nelson. My goodness, Willie. There's a pass in and then lost out of bounds by Longview by Willie Nelson. Mama, don't let your ladies marry cowboys or whatever. L.J. Johnson down the court, and he's called for palming the ball, so a turnover on the Wildcats. Back to Longview. 25-20. Wildcats leading Longview with 5:20 left here in the second quarter. And Tyree Hale, the senior, across the midline for Longview over to Willie Nelson. Here's a long 3 by Longview. It's off, no good. Good rebound, Justin Hare. That shot was taken by Jackson Jamerson. Down to Boo Wilkerson. He kicks it back to Lamadrick Johnson, who goes around the Hare screen. Gets it over Cordrick Turner. Thought about the 3. Boo Wilkerson inside to Hare. Hare, the short jumper, misses, no good. Ball down on the floor. Good rebound there by Jackson Jamerson. And here comes Longview. Tyree Hale. He'll launch the 3. It's off, no good. Good rebound, Justin Hare. Outlet to Caleb Alexander down the court quickly for the Wildcats. Now he gets it over Justin Hare. Over in the corner, Boo Wilkerson, and Boo had to jump real high to get the pass, and he came down on the sideline. So a bad pass over to Boo caused him to land out of bounds. Back to Longview, Wildcats leading 25-20 with 4:26 left in the second quarter. And Jalen Hale with the ball, had 8 first quarter points. Gets the ball to Jackson Jamerson. His 3 is no good. And the rebound off the floor by Justin Hare. Everybody kind of surrounded that one. But Hare came up with the ball over to Lamadrick Johnson. He goes across the midline. Wildcats leading 25-20, 4:02 left here in the second quarter. Lamadrick, and they're calling an offensive foul on Lamadrick Johnson, who made contact with Willie Nelson. So Lamadrick got the charge as they say initiated the contact. Talking to Coach Cipolletta right now, trying to explain the way he saw that play. Back to Longview, and once again Ellswick has returned. Big 6'4" fella. And he gets the ball to Tyree Hale. Over to Jalen Hale. Long 3, and it's off, no good. Battle for the rebound, and out of bounds by Longview. Cordrick Turner in there battling, but Jackson Jamerson knocked it out of bounds. Into Lamadrick Johnson. Wildcats leading 25-20 with 3:42 left here in the second quarter. Lamadrick gets the ball. Cordrick Turner free throw line. Down low to Justin Hare. He missed the shot, and it was knocked out of bounds by Longview. I think Hare maybe thought he was fouled, but did not get that call. And Wildcats will throw in underneath their own basket. 3:33 left second quarter. They lead 25-20. A good inbound pass to Caleb Alexander. He just laid it right in the basket. 4 points for Caleb. Wildcats leading 27-20 with 3:24 left here in the second quarter. Tyree Hale over to Jalen Hale. He'll shoot from out there. He launches the 3. It comes off the iron. Rebound to LaMarcus to Lamadrick Johnson. Johnson across the midline. Gets it over Boo Wilkerson, the three. In and out, no good. Cordrick Turner tried to save it. And out of bounds off the Wildcats. Wildcats 27, Longview 20 with 3:06 left in the second quarter. And here comes Tyree Hale leading that offense for Longview around a Jalen Hale screen. He drove in, lots of contact, then tried to pass, but there was contact in there. Foul is going to be on Boo Wilkerson, I believe. A non-shooting foul. That's just the second on the Wildcats. Longview already has the Wildcats in the bonus. Here's Ellswick driving in. Here's a three on the way for Longview. Hit it. That was to Brian Jackson Jamerson. Now has 7 points with that three. And it's a 27-3 ball game. The Wildcats up by 4 with 2:40 left here in the second quarter. Lamadrick Johnson drives toward the bucket, put it up, miss, but Hare follows, but it won't go. They fight for the rebound. The Wildcats save it back in. Players hit the deck, and they're going to call Caleb Alexander for going after the ball, and he cut the legs out of one of the Longview players. So Caleb will pick up the foul scrambling for the ball. They're very lucky that somebody was not badly hurt on that when players flying around and your legs are taken out from under you, but Longview survived that. 27-23, Wildcats leading with 2:24 left in the second quarter. Tyree Hale to Jalen Hale. He's outside the arc. He likes to shoot him out there. Has not had much success, but he's gunning away. And here's another three, and he got that one. Practice makes perfect, right? He's got 11 points. It's a 1-point Wildcat lead at 27-26 with 2:04 left in the second quarter. Lamadrick Johnson gets it to Cordrick Turner, top of the key. The ball pried loose, but Cordrick got it back. Gets it over to Justin Hare. Cross court, high pass, but Lamadrick Johnson brought it down. Lamadrick gives it to Hare. Hare, top of the key. Gets the ball over to Lamadrick. 1:41 left in the first half. Down to Justin Hare, and they just about ripped his arms off trying to get the ball away from him. Foul on Longview. It'll be 1+1 for Justin Hare. He's 2 for 2 from the line. Had 10 first quarter points. And 14 in the game. So Hare will eye the bucket. Free throw on the way, and Rattle did not go. Cordrick Turner follows, missed it, left it short. The ball down on the floor, and Longview Willie Nelson comes out of there with it. Here comes the Lobos. And coming down is Jackson Jamerson. Here's Ellswick. And back to Tyree Hale. Ellswick outside the arc will shoot the long three. In! A three for Riley Ellswick. And Longview takes the first lead I can remember them having. They lead 29-27. 1:06 left here in the second quarter. After the Wildcats missed some really short shots. Lamadrick Johnson. Johnson gives it over to Justin Hare. 53 seconds left in the second quarter. Lamadrick gets the ball to Boo Wilkerson. He launches the three. That's off. No good. The ball tipped out, but nobody's out there. It'll go to Longview. So the Wildcats had kind of a cold stretch right here before the half. And Longview has scored the last 9 points to take a 29-27 lead here in the second quarter as Malik Cole checks in and Payson Arrington checks out. Or no, that was Parker Wisenhunt checking out. And Longview with the ball. Willie Nelson downloaded Jackson Jamerson over to Ellswick, who drives toward the basket. Oh, they called a block on the Hare as Ellswick lost his balance and barreled into Hare, and they called Hare for a block. So a foul on Justin Hare. Boy, talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And now Willie Nelson triggers it in to Jackson Jamerson. 27 seconds, and Jackson Jamerson, the long three, in and out, no good. And a rebounding foul on Ellswick. And once again, the Wildcats will shoot 2 because that is foul number 10 for Longview here in the first half. And they fouled Lamadrick Johnson. He is 0 for 2 shooting fouls in the ball game here in the first half. Those were first quarter free throws. Lamadrick eyes the bucket. Free throw on the way. Got that one. Wildcats within 1 now. Breaks up 9-0 scoring Stein there. That Longview in the lead. That free throw good. Got them both. We're tied at 29. 23.4 seconds left here in the second quarter. Tyree Hale with the ball. Gets it over to Willie Nelson. Back to Tyree Hale. He goes around to Jackson Jamerson's screen. And here's Haynes driving in. Lots of contact. He hit the bucket, but it's going to be an offensive foul. And that's foul number 3 on Haynes, and it wipes out the basket. With 8.9 left here in the second quarter. Malik Cole is out, and Caleb Alexander's in for the Wildcats. 8.9 now. We're tied at 29. The ball in the hands of Lamadrick Johnson. Johnson looking to free up for that late 3. There it is. It hit the front iron off. No good, and we'll go into the half with a 29-29 tie in this one. A 10-point quarter for the Wildcats and a 15-point quarter for the Longview Lobos, who heated up in that second quarter. So we'll head to the half with each team with 29 points. And we'll send it back to James Terry, and we'll add everything up. We'll tell you who scored what when we return. But we're going to do some business now. And let's check in with James, and we'll be back in a moment.
Okay, Don, we're playing about 4 minutes here.
All right. 10, 21, 24, 27. Oh, my, I'm off by 2. Good grief. Who did I miss a basket on? 3, 10, 21, 24, 27. Good grief. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. That was right. Good grief. Look at all the threes. Oh, I had 5 threes. No wonder. Well, that's 15 points. That ought to add up. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Threes. Oh, there's 2 right there. First quarter. That should be 5 instead of 3. That'll do it. 10, 21, 24, 29. Okay, Wildcats 14 for Hare. 2 for Lamadrick. 4 for Caleb. 6 for Boo. And 3 for Cordrick. 14, 16, 20, 26, 29. Okay, 29, 29. All righty.
15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. No, that's 10 seconds. Now 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
29-29 at the half. Again, the Wildcats led by 5 after the first quarter, 19-14, but Longview outscored the Wildcats 15-10 in the second quarter to make it a 29-29 ball game. And it's been a game of marksmanship. The Wildcats really fueled by 3 3-pointers early in the game, 2 by Boo Wilkerson and 1 by Corderick Turner. Jumped out to a big lead and then held on for that 5-point first quarter lead. Well, let me tell you, in the second quarter, Longview scored 15 points. They made 5 threes. Everything was a 3-point basket by the Lobos, and it was 5 different players. So they've got some marksmen that can really put it up. So that was big, as it was Detravius Nelson, Cabrian Jackson Jamerson, Jalen Hale, Tyree Hale, and also Riley Ellswick. All 5 of those players hit 3-pointers, and that was their only scoring in the quarter, as they did a lot of damage there. Well, let's get to the scoring. Leading the way for Longview is Jalen Hale, the sophomore, with 11 points. And again, I am told that he is a 5-star receiver in football, so he's, I'm sure, drawing a lot of attention. The Lobos quite successful on the gridiron. Not as successful as they would like to be. I'm sure they would like to still be playing, but they were knocked out. But they had another good season for Coach King over there for Longview. 11 points for Jalen Hale. 7 points for Cabrian Jackson Jamerson. And 5 points for Riley Ellswick, 3 points for Tyree Hale, and 3 points for Detravius Nelson. So that's the scoring for the Lobos. For the Wildcats, a big first half by Justin Hare as he was pouring the ball in the basket. Had 10 first quarter points and ended up at 14, so he leads all scorers. And that would be 6 baskets and 2 for 2 free throw shooting for 14 points. Also, Boo Wilkerson hit 2 threes back there in the first quarter for a total of 6 points. And 4 points for Caleb Alexander. 3 points for Corderick Turner. That was a 3-point basket. And 2 for Lamadrick Johnson. Made them right there before the half. But the Wildcats led 27-20, and Longview scored 9 points in a row with 3 of those 3-pointers to take a 29-27 lead. And then Lamadrick Johnson was fouled rebounding on the defensive end, and so he went down and sunk 2 free throws right before the half and made it a 29-29 game, and that's where they are. Yeah, Longview just 2-2 in district play. They were defeated by Mount Pleasant and also, I believe, Texas High. Somewhere I've got all that written down. Yes, that is correct. And they did beat Marshall, and then they beat Pine Tree yesterday. But I think you're going to see them really see their star rising as those football players continue to knock the rust off. They don't look very rusty to me. But they will steal the ball if you give them half a chance. I noticed that. They have had a ton of steals today. And of course, they're playing very aggressively, going for those steals, and the officials are calling a lot of fouls, as Longview had more than 10 in that first half. And the Wildcats had quite a few less than that. They never put Longview in the bonus. Longview will start with possession of the ball, and DeMarcus Washington will throw in to Tyree Hale. We also got Jalen Hale and Jackson Jamerson and Ellswick in there. Wildcats with Lamadrick Johnson, Justin Hare, Malik Cole, Corderick Turner, and Boo Wilkerson. Ball outside. This is Jalen Hale. He lobs inside for Jackson Jamerson. Heads to the basket, puts it up, and got the roll. Nice shooter's touch. He has 9 points. And Longview takes the lead here in the third quarter, 31-29. With 7:30 left here in the third quarter. Lamadrick Johnson gets it over to Boo Wilkerson. Wilkerson inside Justin Hare. Hare steams to the basket, put up the shot and missed it. And the rebound came down to DeMarcus Washington. Here come the Lobos. Over to Tyree Hale in Washington. They play catch outside. Tyree Hale gets a screen. Got it over to Jalen Hale outside to Washington. And back to Jalen Hale. And he works it to Tyree Hale. The Hales play catch out there. Washington back to Jalen Hale. Cross court. Here's a three by Jackson Jamerson. He hit the three. Boy, he's had a great quarter so far. Has 12 points. He scored the first 5 for Longview as they continue with bombs away. Wildcats trailing now 34-29 with 6:36 left in the third quarter. Lamadrick Johnson to Justin Hare. Tried to get it inside. They just do to Cordrick Turner. He steams to the basket. He hit the bucket. It'll count, and he was fouled. Cordrick Turner now has 5 points. First foul of the second half. And Turner will shoot a free throw with a chance to trim the Longview lead to 2 points. Turner's free throw is off, no good. Scrap for the rebound, and Jackson Jamerson comes up with it. Longview leading 34-31, 6:20 left here in the third quarter. Jalen Hale with the ball for Longview. Hale fires to the right side to Washington, to Ellswick, and back to Jalen Hale, who backs out as he's being guarded by Malik Cole. Cole likes to be a defensive stopper. He'll have a task trying to keep Jalen Hale from scoring. Here's Washington driving in. He slipped and fell. The ball down. He's tied up. Jump ball with possession arrow to the Wildcats. Yes, he just slipped as he was heading in, and Wildcats pounced on him there and got the jump ball. Lou Wilkerson into Lamadrick Johnson. Longview by 3 with 5:50 left here in the third quarter. Longview leading 34-31. Lamadrick Johnson to Justin Hare. Back to Lamadrick. Gets it to Boo Wilkerson. He's open for the three. It's in and out. No good. Jackson Jamerson the rebound, and the rebounding foul on Cordrick Turner. As Boo was hot in that first quarter, but he's cooled off and has had a hard time adding to those 2 3-pointers. And Tyree Hale across the midline. Longview leading 34-31 with 5:28 left in the third quarter. Into Jackson Jamerson. Out to Washington. Ellswick will shoot the three. Oh, that was way off the mark. It's down on the floor. They have a jump ball. This will be possession arrow to the Lobos, as Jackson Jamerson came up there with it. And the Wildcats tied him up. Washington will throw in underneath the basket for the Lobos. They lead 34-31. 5:18 left here in the third quarter. Gets the ball out to Jalen Hale. He backs way off. Now goes around a real rugged screen, and Jackson Jamerson with a three. This one out, no good. But wait a minute, we've got an offensive foul called on Jackson Jamerson on that brutal screen. The official said it was not legal. That's at least the second foul on to Bryan. 34-31, the Wildcats trying to get the ball in against double coverage, and a foul on Washington in the backcourt for closely guarding on Lamadrick Johnson. At least a second foul on Washington. So they're going to need a heavy bench if they're going to make it through this with all these fouls. Ball comes in to Lamadrick Johnson. The Wildcats trailing 34-31. 5:07 left here in the third quarter. Lou Wilkerson back to Justin Hare and back to Lamadrick Johnson. Johnson penetrating in. He floats the ball up. Misses, no good. Hare fighting for the rebound. And last touch by the Wildcats. It'll go back to Longview. Wildcats shooting has gone a little bit cold here. Longview leading 34-31. 4:49 left in the third quarter. Jalen Hale drives in. Here's Washington the three. That's off, no good. Good, strong rebound by Justin Hare. Gets it to Lamadrick Johnson. Wildcats down by 3. 4:36 left, third quarter. Hare back to Wilkerson. Cordrick looking inside, now gets it to LaModrick Johnson. Johnson to Justin Hare, down to Cordrick Turner. Turner steams to the basket. He put up a shot. Ellswick is called for the foul. I think he thought he had a pretty good block on that play, but he's going to pick up the foul. And Longview, just like that, with 3 fouls to the Wildcats, 1. It's at least the second on Ellswick. And Cordrick Turner, who's 0 for 1 shooting free throws, this one good. 6 points for Cordrick. Trims the Lobo lead to 2 with 1 coming. Caleb Alexander checks in for Malik Cole. I know Malik is glad to be back out there. Cordrick Turner, second free throw's off, no good. Longview 34, the Wildcats 32, with 4:17 left here in the third quarter. Jalen Hale with the ball. Almost at midcourt. Surely he wouldn't jack a 3 from there, and I don't think so. He plays catch out there with Tyree Hale, who's guarded by Caleb Alexander. Caleb now maneuvers toward him. And now Hale penetrates in, dishes off. Washington missed the shot. And the rebound came down to LaModrick Johnson. And let's see what the call was. They're going to say the Wildcats were out of bounds. So Willie Nelson will now throw the ball in for Longview. And he bounces it in to Jalen Hale. It was pried loose, knocked out of bounds by the Wildcats. It'll go back to Longview. 3:47 left in the third quarter. 34-32, the Lobos have the lead. Willie Nelson to trigger it in way back outside to Tyree Hale. Now guarded by LaMarcus Johnson. Hale swish goes in, misses the shot. Willie Nelson the shot, and it's blocked. I would say into the cheap seats, but it just hit the back wall after Justin Hare blocked that one. That's at least 2 blocks for Justin. And now Willie Nelson in to Haynes, who's back in there. Gets it to Jalen Hale. He'll go around a screen there by Jackson Jamerson. Hale way out so he can maneuver in. He kind of lost the ball for a second, but retrieved it and kept that dribble going. Boo Wilkerson guarding him very closely. Hale steams in, the ball down on the floor and picked up by the Wildcats. Here's Boo Wilkerson heading down the court. His layup is good by Boo Wilkerson. And we're tied at 34, 3:04 left to play here in the third quarter. Hale was trying to put on a dribbling exhibition there, and Wildcats pried it loose. Tyree Hale with the ball. Now he penetrates in to Willie Nelson. Over to Haynes, who heads to the basket. He puts up the shot. He missed the shot, but he's going to draw the foul on one of the Wildcats' big fellas. On Justin Hare, I believe. At least the second foul on Hare, and now Haynes will shoot free throws. He has trying for his first points in the ball game. Off the front iron, no good. He'll get another. Just need to move that free throw line back behind the three-point arc the way these Lobos are hitting the 3 today. Haynes left-handed free throw off, no good. Justin Hare with a rebound. Tied at 34 with 2:43 left here in the third quarter. LaModrick Johnson across the midline. Gets it to Cordrick Turner. Back to Boo Wilkerson, who laid it in. What a beautiful assist by Cordrick Turner, and the Wildcats leading 36-34. 2:28 left here in the third quarter. Haynes, a long 3, hit the 3 after missing 2 free throws, I'm telling you. Longview up 37-36 with 2:16 left here in the third quarter. LaModrick Johnson to Cordrick Turner. He looked back door again. Got it to Boo Wilkerson, the 3. Oh, that came up short. And he'll go back to Longview. And, of course, they enjoyed that. The fans over here right in front of us. The big contingent of Longview fans that have made the trip today. Wildcats trailing 37-36 as we enter the last 2 minutes here of the third quarter. Tyree Hale outside. Gets it to Jalen Hale. Back to Tyree. He's back behind that arc where the Lobos are dangerous. Jackson Jamerson now heads in. The shot was blocked by Justin Hare, but there was some contact, and they're going to get the Wildcats. Hare again. That's at least 3. He's been very unfortunate on a couple of those fouls. Looked like he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time with an out-of-control player. And Jackson Jamerson now with free throw on the way. This one on the way. It's off. No good. I'm telling you, they ought to move that free throw line back to the three-point line. Because Jamerson's already rung home a couple of threes today. Struggling from the free throw line, and he got that one. Longview leading 30. No, they're tied at 37 with 1:37 left to play here in the third quarter. Lamadrick Johnson across the midline. Boo Wilkerson in the corner. Lobs to Cordrick Turner. Turner down low to Kason Arrington. Missed the layup. Now the ball on the floor. They scramble for it. He tried to get a timeout, and he did. So the ball will stay in possession of the Wildcats. Let's correct the score. It's Longview 38, the Wildcats 36 with 1:21 left here in the third quarter. Long break for the Wildcats. We'll take it and be right back.
Okay, we're out. So you're going to have 2.
Yep.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, it's been a tough defensive quarter here in the third quarter. Longview has outscored the Wildcats 9-7 to take that 38-36 lead. The Wildcats have had some of those plays in this quarter that would be in the coulda, shoulda, woulda department when you think about ones that they should have made, but did not. And I'm sure Longview can probably think of some that they missed too. So Wildcats ball. Boo Wilkerson will throw the ball in, gets it to Caleb Alexander. Long three is off, no good. Rebound Willie Nelson for the Lobos. Here comes Longview. This will be Tyree Hale. They lead by 2. 1:10 left here in the third quarter. Gets it over to Jackson Jamerson, the three. This one's off, no good. Good rebound, Kason Arrington. And he gets it to Caleb Alexander. 57 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Caleb Alexander around the Arrington screen. Hits the ball, Cordrick Turner, top of the key. Cordrick to Malik Cole. To Kason Arrington. Tried to get it inside, rejected. Malik Cole has it now down low to Cordrick Turner. He backs in, lost the ball down on the floor. It's loose, and Longview has it. And here's Hale ahead of the field and puts it in the basket. 13 points for Hale. 26 seconds left in the third quarter. Longview by 4, 40-36. Ball to Cordrick Turner. Almost stolen by Haynes. Gets it over to Caleb Alexander. To Boo Wilkerson, down to Kason Arrington, drives in, put up the shot, and got it. Arrington for 2. Wildcats trail. Here's a long Lobo three. Oh, in and out. In and out by Jalen Hale at the horn. Lobos are ready to rock the place. But that three did not fall, but Longview will still take a 40-38 lead into the fourth quarter. 11 points for Longview in the quarter and 9 for the Wildcats. Let's take a break here. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this break.
We're out. I'm on in 2.
2. Oh, there we go.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Longview 40, the Wildcats 38 after 3 quarters. Anybody's game as we head into this, what is expected to be a wild fourth quarter. Each team has 3 fouls in the half, so no advantage there like there was in the first half where Longview was making so many. Wildcats will have the ball to start the fourth quarter. Boo Wilkerson will throw the ball in, and he is being heavily contested. Lamadrick Johnson is, but he gets it into Justin Hare. Now the ball in the hands of Lamadrick for the Wildcats. Guarded by Willie Nelson. Lamadrick backing in. Gets the ball, Cordrick Turner, free throw line. Over to Caleb Alexander, long 3. It's off, no good. Cordrick, the rebound, the follow shot is good by Cordrick Turner. Good rebounding, take advantage of his height. 8 points for Cordrick. We're tied at 40. 7:33 left in the fourth quarter. Tyree Hale to Jackson Jameson. Just inside the arc. He missed it. No good. Rebound to Lamadrick Johnson. Here come the Wildcats. We're tied at 40. 7:20 left here in the fourth quarter. Lamadrick steams in. Floats it up. Missed the shot. And the rebound to Jalen Hale. Hale down for Longview. Hale into the lane. Passes off to Tyree Hale. He's being guarded by Lamadrick Johnson. Got a screen. They get it over to Jackson Jameson, who goes in, missed the shot. Good rebound, Justin Hare. Here come the Wildcats. We're tied at 40. 6:50 left here in the fourth quarter. Lamadrick Johnson across the midline. And we'll throw to Cordrick Turner, and we had a foul away from the ball. Jackson Jameson guarding... Jamerson was guarding Justin Hare and picked up the foul. That's at least 3 on him. He's shorter than Justin Hare, but he is very athletic. Here's a lob into Justin Hare. Hare bounces to Cordrick Turner. Turner puts up the shot and hit it again using his height. Getting good position and putting the ball in over the smaller Lobos. 10 points now for Turner. And the Wildcats leading 42-40 with 6:25 left here in the fourth quarter. The Hales play catch outside for Longview. This is Tyree Hale penetrating. Here's Haynes, a 3. It's good. Oh, my. The whole team can hit 3s. That's the second one for Haynes. He's got 6 points. Longview ahead, 43-42. 6:04 left here in the fourth quarter. Lamadrick Johnson goes around the screen. Got the ball to Cordrick Turner. Turner passes to Justin Hare. Hare on the dribble, and boy, just a little reach foul there by Willie Nelson got called for that. Trying to get the ball from a much taller Justin Hare, but again, Longview will pry it loose if they can. They now have 5 fouls to the Wildcats 3 in the second half. Into Caleb Alexander. Gets it down to Justin Hare. Hare goes around a man and laid it in. Good offensive play by Justin Hare, who has 16. And the Wildcats lead Longview 44-43 with 5:38 left here in the fourth quarter. Tyree Hale with the ball. Over to Jalen Hale. Hale way outside. He can shoot them from there. Bounces down low to Jackson Jamerson, who hammers his way in and puts the ball in. He just, with a physical force that time, has 15 points, and Longview leads 45-44. Lamadrick Johnson working against Willie Nelson, comes across the midline, into the corner. Boo Wilkerson down toward Cordrick Turner, and it was knocked loose, but Longview knocked it out of bounds. Back to the Wildcats. Longview leads 45-44, 5:08 left. And timeout taken by Coach Don Newton of Longview. Longview 45, the Wildcats 44 with 5:08 left here in the fourth quarter. And we'll take the break and we'll be back in a moment.
We're out again. You want 1 or 2?
2.
Okay.
there's Breasia Ivory.
Ten seconds.
Super fan on a mission here to find out how the Lady Cats did.
3, 2, 1.
Team's still in the huddle. They've got another few seconds before the scores table will send them a buzzer message that they need to get back out there. And that's what it sounds like. Longview leading 45-44. And 5:08 left here in the fourth quarter. The Lady Cats have won in Longview, but our reporter, who happens to be a Lady Cat basketball player, could not remember the score. Boo Wilkerson to trigger in, gets it into Justin Hare. Back to Boo Wilkerson. Wilkerson down low to Hare, and the ball is taken away after a collision. And Haynes came out of there with the ball. Wildcats trying to force that into some heavy pressure that time. Tyree Hale with the ball. Longview with a 1-point lead. 4:50 left here in the fourth quarter. Down low, a good feed to Jackson Jamerson by Jalen Hale. And Jackson Jamerson now has 17 points, and Longview with a 3-point lead. Caleb Alexander across the midline. Got it over to Boo Wilkerson. Boo to Justin Hare. Down low to Cordrick Turner. Turner powers his way in, and the ball knocked loose, and they'll call a foul on Longview. And I did not, it looked like a 1, unless he was saying 1-0, Willie Nelson, so I'm not sure who that was on. Cordrick Turner shooting free throws here. This one good. Cordrick is 2 out of 4. As the Wildcats trim the lead to 2, they can make it a 1-point ball game right here. Turner's free throw is off the iron, no good. Longview leading 47-45 with 4:20 left here in the fourth quarter of this barn burner. Tyree Hale with the ball for Longview. Gets it over to Jalen Hale. Well, what a nice young-looking player that fellow is. If he ever decides football's not his sport, basketball might be nice. Here's Jackson Jameson, 3, no good. Rebound to Lamadrick Johnson. Lamadrick heading up the court against Willie Nelson. Comes across the midline, goes around the hair screen. Oh, man, did that one take a collision, and LJ put it in the bucket. 4 points for Lamadrick Johnson. Oh, Willie Nelson is still holding his head as he hit a tremendous wall in the form of an illegal screen by Justin Hare. Boo Wilkerson pried the ball loose from Jalen Hale. We're tied at 47 with 3:30 left here in the fourth quarter. Oh my, what a screen that was. And Nelson never saw it coming. Here's Jalen Hale driving in, laid it up, missed the shot. But that may be number 4 on Justin Hare. And let's see if Coach Cipolletta is going to see if he can play through it here or whether he's going to make a change. Justin Hare said, man, I went straight up. The official telling him that he bodied him. So Jalen Hale shooting free throws. He has not had a single free throw all day long. He's got 13 points. Eyes the bucket. The free throw swish. Nothing but net. A nice high arc, and it just came right splashing down through the basket. Hale's free throw got them both. Boy, just barely tickled the twine. 49-47, Longview by 2 with 3:23 left here in the fourth quarter. Lamadrick Johnson across the midline. Started closely by Willie Nelson to Hare. Down low to Cordrick Turner. He put it in and he got fouled by a guard. Tyree Hale moved down there to try to stop the basket. Caleb, they went for a steal and Turner was wide open. He's having a huge quarter with 7 points. And we're tied at 49 with 3:12 left here in the fourth quarter, and Cordrick Turner with a chance to put the Wildcats up by 1 here. The free throw is good by Cordrick Turner. 8 points in the quarter, 14 in the game, as Clark Cipolletta is giving them a heavy dose of Cordrick here in the fourth quarter. The Wildcats up by 1, 50-49. 3:03 left here in the fourth quarter. There's Jackson Jamerson. He thought about the three. Storms in, lost the ball to Boo Wilkerson. Wilkerson over to LJ. He comes down the court and goes around the defender and lays it in. Lamadrick Johnson with 6. The Wildcats by 3, 52-49. 2:43 left here in the fourth quarter. Tyree Hale over to Jalen Hale. See if he shoots that long three. He drives toward the basket, put up the shot. The whistle blows. The shot bounced out, but they had a foul, I think, on Boo Wilkerson. Might have been prior to the shot, so this will be a non-shooting foul. It's only the 5th foul on the Wildcats. Wildcats are in the bonus because Longview has 7 fouls. Willie Nelson to throw it in. Got it into Jalen Hale. 4 guarding 4. That's a match to watch. Down to Jackson Jamerson against Hare with those 4 fouls. The ball pried loose. If that's on Hare, he's gone. They look like they're pointing it. Yeah, that's on Hare. Now, Lamadrick said that was on me. Of course, a teammate will do that. Hare's still out there, so maybe I miscalculated on the fouls. 3-point Wildcats lead, 52-49. 2:21 left here in the fourth quarter. Tyree Hale. Boy, Longview a threat to score the 3. They've had a ton of them today. There's Jalen Hale. He can shoot from out there. He goes around the screen. Drives. Thinks about the 3. Pumps it inside to Jackson Jamerson. Goes around Hare. Put it up and missed it. Got the rebound. It's pushed loose. And Willie Nelson has it. He drives toward the basket along the baseline. Got it inside. It went into Jackson Jamerson. Justin Hare blocked the shot. But the official are going to call a foul, and that's bound to be it for Justin Hare, as he will foul out with 16 points. And Jackson Jamerson at the free throw line with a chance to make this a 1-point ball game. And let's see who the sub is going to be. Well, he called everybody over. I thought for sure Hare fouled out. Hare's coming back in. No, he's not. Now he's Justin Hare goes over to shake or fist bump with Don Newton. Always a nice gesture. Jackson Jamerson shooting free throws for Longview with a chance to trim this to a 1-point ball game. The Wildcats up by 3. 1:51 left in the fourth quarter. The free throw good. He had a big second half, and he had 7 at the half, so he's got 18 points now for Jackson Jamerson. One more can trim the Wildcats' lead to 1 point. It's 52-50, and now we're going to take care of some moisture on the floor. And again, 1:51 left here in the fourth quarter of this wild one. Boy, this has been a delight, a basketball game to watch. Back and forth. A lot of highs and lows for both teams. And Jackson Jamerson, let's see from the free throw line, he is 2 out of 3 with his 4th effort coming here. And again, a chance to make this a 1-point ball game. 1:51 left in fourth quarter. Free throw in the way. Got both of them. And the Wildcats with the ball leading 52-51. 1:51 left here in the fourth quarter. Lamadrick Johnson in the backcourt against Willie Nelson. There's one bump that went uncalled. Lamadrick with the ball against Nelson. Goes around his man. Got it over to Cordrick Turner. Turner begins to dribble, and then timeout taken by Clark Cipolletta with 1:35 left here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats 52 and Longview 51. And we'll take a break here, and we'll be back in a moment.
Is this another long one, Don? You need 2?
Yes.
Okay. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
So 1:35 still to play here. Wildcats 52, Longview 51. The Wildcats have the ball. And they'll be throwing it in on the side. Boo Wilkerson with Malik Cole, Lamadrick Johnson, Caleb Alexander, and Cordrick Turner. And the ball comes in to Cordrick. Oh, he could not catch the ball, and Longview gets the turnover. My goodness, here comes Tyree Hale. Longview, that would be gutsy playing for the last shot, but they're just kind of regrouping right now. Here's Jalen Hale penetrating in. Put up the shot, but an offensive foul is called on Jalen Hale. And it negated a basket that he hit, but he charged first, according to the official. Clark Cipolletta really telling the Wildcats to get the ball in. Comes into Caleb Alexander. 52-51 as Caleb is double teamed, but he got it over to Malik Cole. Cole gives it to Caleb Alexander. The Wildcats by 1 with 1:04 left in the fourth quarter. Caleb driving in, got it over to Cordrick Turner, over to Lamadrick Johnson, as the Wildcats appear to be trying to eat some clock here against this dangerous Longview team. Lamadrick Johnson out all by himself. Now he gets guarded. He goes around the player, steps down, got it to Boo Wilkerson, and he hits the layup. Boo Wilkerson with 12 points. The Wildcats by 3 with 36 seconds left in the ball game. Tyree Hale with the ball for Longview. Timeout taken by Coach Don Newton of Longview. The Wildcats 54, Longview 51, 32.2 seconds left in this one. Oh, wow. As Red Barber used to say, oh, doctor, check me out. Timeout taken. Now, we'll take it with them, and we'll be back.
That again, you want 1 or 2?
2. I couldn't think of a better team if I was having to choose a team to shoot the 3 than Longview, the way they have hit them today. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 threes. Of course, I remember Rockwall Heath one time hit about 14 against us, and we won somehow.
4, 3, 2, 1.
32.2 seconds remaining, and if you had to choose a team out of all the teams out there to shoot the 3, Longview might be your choice. They've made 8 today. In this 54-51 game, the Wildcats leading by 3 with 32.2 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Jalen Hale into Tyree Hale as we start the last 30 seconds. Ball over to Jackson Jamerson. And he is going to be fouled by Boo Wilkerson. And that will be 1+1. So Jamerson sent to the foul line on the foul on Boo. It looked like a foul to give, but both teams have 8. So 1+1 right now for either team on any foul. And here's Jackson Jamerson, free throw, nothing but net, as he has really been stepping up from the free throw line. He's made his last 4 after missing one. And he can make this a 1-point ball game. 24.4 seconds remaining here. The free throw is good. He got him. And timeout taken. 24.4 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Wildcats 54 and Longview 53. We'll take the break with them and be back in a moment.
Out again, you want 2 more?
Just 1.
Okay.
Yeah, short break.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
So the last 24.4 seconds of at least regulation, as the Wildcats leading by a single point at 54-53. Boy, they've got to protect the ball now from this Lobo team. Very athletic, and they do go big time for the steals. Cordrick Turner got it, or the ball from Boo Wilkerson to Cordrick Turner to Lamadrick Johnson. 20 seconds left. Lamadrick in the backcourt, working against Willie Nelson. He comes across the line. He's double teamed, and a foul is called. I think it's going to be on Jalen Hale trying to get the steal. And going to send Lamadrick Johnson to the free throw line for 1+1 here. And Jalen Hale is just fouled out. So the leading scorer, I would say he is not the leading scorer today. Jackson Jamerson is. But he is a big-time scorer, as he had 11 in the first half. And he just fouled out. Of course, the Wildcats lost Justin Hare, was their leading scorer today, I believe, was 16. Although Cordrick Turner's getting pretty close. He's got 14. Big free throws now for Lamadrick Johnson. 1+1. If you miss this, it's all over. You got to make the first to earn the second. Wildcats with a slender 1-point lead. 15 seconds left in the ball game. No pressure, Lamadrick. Free throw on the way. It's off the iron. The rebound to Longview. Comes down to Washington. Here come the Lobos. And Washington gets the ball to Haynes. Back to Washington. 3 seconds. Tyree Hale puts it up. He hits the 3 at the buzzer. And Longview wins with a 3 at the buzzer. It was a heavily contested shot. And Tyree Hale, I didn't think there was any way that was going in, as they are swarming him out on the court now like they just won the national championship. But it must feel like that way to them. Trailing by 1. And Tyree Hale hit a highly contested 3 as he just kind of leaned in and put it up, and he banked it in. Don't you have to call glass? I guess that's in horse. But Longview wins this one on a 3 at the buzzer. 56-54. Oh my, what heartbreak for the Wildcats. They had a 16-point fourth quarter, and so did Longview. But Longview went into the fourth quarter with that 40-38 lead. The Wildcats led for almost the entire fourth quarter, and just got away from them there at the end with that crazy 3 by Tyree Hale. My goodness. And you just kind of had the feeling if it came down to a 3, you didn't want Longview shooting it, as they gunned the 3s today. And Longview beats the Wildcats by the score of 56-54. Longview now 3-2 in district play, and the Wildcats suffer their first defeat in district play. Now 3-1. Wildcats 10-7 on the season. Longview is 8-9, still underwater, but I say that's going to change with these infusion of football players, and pretty good-looking players too. They are a very athletic team. But the Wildcats, I know, will just feel like they kind of let one get away today. And when you lose by 2 points, it's coulda, shoulda, woulda. You can think of all kinds of things that you think about that basket or that turnover. Or, like I say, a million things go through your mind in a close loss like that. Let's check in with James Terry. Go ahead and let me add everything up here, and we'll tell you who scored what in this one. As Longview on a 3-point shot at the buzzer defeats the Wildcats 56-54. So we'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
Okay, you want a couple?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Okay.
$24, $39, $45, $50, $56. That is correct. Sad but true. See, 2 points, 16, 2, 4, 6, and 4, and 12, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 14, 18, 24, 28, 40, 54. Okay, it adds up.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, an amazing side here. Some of the Longview sub-varsity players up here are cleaning out the stands a little bit. They're picking up some empty plastic bottles and chip packages and all kinds of stuff. So, my goodness. I guess when you win 56-54 on a last-second three, you feel like it's time to do good to others. But anyway, I thought those young men deserve credit for that. Let's give you the Longview scoring first. Brian Jackson Jamerson scored 21 to lead the way for the Lobos. Big second half, as he had 14 of those 21 in the second half. So he leads the way with 14. Jalen Hale had 15, had that big first half with 11, and then finished with 15 points. Still a good, solid game. 6 points for Tyree Hale, and he is the name that will be on everybody's lips in Longview with the big three that gave Longview the win and sent the Wildcats down to that 2-point loss. 6 points for Markavian Haynes. On both of those were threes, and then 5 points for Riley Ellswick, and he had a three as well as Longview bombs away. I think they had 9. I think I counted it up to 8, and then they hit the 9th one that was the winner. For the Wildcats, Justin Hare fouled out after scoring 16 points. I thought he had a couple of very unfortunate fouls where he just happened to be in the vicinity and players were out of control, and he ended up getting called for the foul. There was one, the player slipped and fell into him, and Hare got the foul. So, anyway, that's the way I saw it, but my opinion does not count. Cordrick Turner had 14 points. He was big in the fourth quarter with 8 points for the Wildcats. They also had 12 from Boo Wilkerson, who had a good game today. And after that, for the Wildcats, they had 6 from Lamadrick Johnson, 4 from Caleb Alexander, and 2 for Kaysen Arrington. Again, by quarters, Longview had 14, 15, 11, and 16. The Wildcats had 19, 10, 9, and 16. So you add it all up, Longview 56, the Wildcats 54. After this back-to-back tonight, with the Wildcats winning at Hallsville but losing on the home court to Longview, who had a really good Friday, Saturday. Coach Newton thought the scheduling really was a bad thing for them, but they come away with 2 wins as they beat Pine Tree and then beat the Wildcats here on the home court. Wouldn't you like to see the rematch between these two in Longview? That'll be something to see, and will be coming up on January 29th, by the way. And next for the Wildcats, oh my, you go from the frying pan to the fire as Mount Pleasant comes in. It's Mount Pleasant night coming in against Sulphur Springs. I think they're unbeaten in district play. And that'll be a barn burner coming up on Tuesday. That's next for the Wildcats. Lady Cats win today. We didn't get a score, but we will endeavor to do that. But found out Breasia Ivory was in the gym and said that they had won, but she could not remember what the score was. Maybe it was such a wide margin she couldn't remember. I think if it had been 56-54, maybe not. Maybe fans will only remember that Longview hit the 3 and got the win and may not remember the exact score. But that's going to wrap it up. James Terry running spots back at the station. Doug Haston did all our engineering and also for the live stream, and also did the video work. And I'm Don Julian with your play-by-play. Once again, this exciting one goes against the Wildcats today on a 3-point shot that goes in at the buzzer for the Longview Lobos. Longview 56, the Wildcats 54. Thank you so much for joining us today, and so long, everybody.
Thank you, Don. This has been Wildcats basketball on KSSC 1230 in Sulphur Springs, Texas. We'll go back to Good Time Oldies after this message. Okay, Don, we're out.
All righty.